we insisted that there are 20 questions that ought to be responded to by the Akufo-Addo government on this matter, which places the health and the lives of millions of senior high school students at great risk. After the press conference, no less a person than the chief of staff told the media that all we have put out are untruths and it's just mere propaganda. The chief of staff. The chief of staff.
Let me add that the former education minister,
yes,
Reverend Ntim Fordjour,
yeah,
called into the show,
yes,
this week.
No, he's a deputy.
He's not former. He's a deputy
education minister.
Yeah,
yes, education. Then he also
I'll be coming to him.
Denied allegations.
Yes, I'll come to all of that. So the chief of staff, a woman I have enormous respect for, a mother, the chief of staff who ought to coordinate government machinery, who should have summoned all of these institutions, the FDA, the National Food and Buffer Stock Company, the Ministry of Education, the GES, the Free SHS Secretariat. The chief of staff, just with a wave of her hand, dismissed this as mere propaganda and untruth. Then you have the Minister for Education, who also said that all of this are falsehoods. Then his deputy on this show says that, oh, even some of the documents are not on letterheads. And for Reverend Ntim Fordjour, he has been mentioned directly in the FDA report, a copy of which I have here, that he was contacted during the investigations. And I insist that Reverend John Ntim Fordjour, yes, this report, Reverend John Ntim Fordjour could have stopped the distribution of this rice when he was contacted as far back as January this year. Remember that the rice, the unwholesome,
he said he knows nothing
Moshosho rice, was distributed to our schools on the 1st and 2nd of February. He was contacted in January. Now yesterday, Annie, the head of legal at the Food and Drugs Authority has finally spoken. The FDA has finally spoken to this scandal. And when you listen to the FDA head of legal, he confirms everything that I have put out. Every information that I've put out on this matter has been confirmed. That indeed, Laments Investment Africa Limited and the National Food Buffer Company conspired to rebag rice beyond its best before date, and that they engage in that criminal enterprise without recourse to Act 851, the Public Health Act. And so 3 clear infractions. 1, the facility, the NAFCO storage facility where they were doing the rebagging, was not licensed. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
NAFCO, responsible for taking care of our children, where they store food. Yes, it's in the report.
Which report?
It's in this, this report. And the FDA lawyer has confirmed this. He said that that's why Laments was fined. So one,
at some point I was
please let me, can I just, it's important that, it's because the Ghanaian public must follow this, you know, and I don't want to lose my string of thought. So 3 infractions the FDA lawyer has confirmed, head of legal. 1, NAFCO, their storage facility, where this rebagging, this criminal activity was taking place, It's not licensed, it's not registered. 2, the rebagging under Act 851. The FDA should have been informed. The FDA was not informed. And then 3, the third infraction is that the FDA should have had a personnel, an officer at the facility to supervise
the rebagging process.
The rebagging process, according to Act 851. That was not done. And indeed, that is why Laments was fined by the Food and Drugs Authority. The Food and Drugs Authority has confirmed this. So where does this leave the Chief of Staff and all of those ministers who were all over the place saying that this is a figment of my imagination, they don't know the authenticity of the documents I have, they are not on letterheads, and all of those cock and bull stories. They clearly have been exposed.
Sammy, 1 second. I think the point of departure of the people that you mentioned is that you say that the food was contaminated.
Yes, I'm coming there.
It had gone past its best before date.
Yes.
Yes. That is what they said is not true.
No. The Chief of Staff said everything is not true.
You said it's propaganda.
It's all propaganda. The Chief of Staff was categorical. You have the voice.
He said, what is propaganda?
Everything about this whole matter.
But what is the gravamen of your claim? That the food is unwholesome.
Yes. And not
They
only
say-
that, litany of infractions have been committed. NAFCO storage facility not licensed. The whole criminal rebagging did not follow due process. Worst of all, the rebagging violated our laws to the extent that they deceived the public. When they moved the Moshosho rice into these new bags, they lied that it is ECOWAS rice. They changed the origin from made in India to made in Ghana. And worst of all, there was no expiry date. What does LI 1541 say? It's trite. You cannot bag food, package food in this country without clearly spelling out the brand, the nature, the kind of food, its ingredients, without stating the origin, the true origin, and without stating the expiry date or the best before date. All of these things were not done. Now let me come to the issue of wholesomeness or not. I hold in my hands here the 6th February 2024 submission of certificates of analysis. Remember that on the 21st of December, the Ashanti Regional Police Command, having acted on the alert, wrote to the FDA and attached samples of the food, of the rice, demanding test results. And let me quickly read this letter. It's signed by J.J. Boy, the superintendent in charge of crime in Ashanti region. Addressed to the Regional Director, Food and Drugs Authority, Kumasi, request for assistance. The Regional Criminal Investigation Department of Ghana Police Service, Kumasi Ashanti, is investigating a case of being in possession of alleged unwholesome Moshosho bags of rice stocked at the National Food and Buffer Stock Warehouse, Bokrom, Kumasi. Investigations have reached a stage where sample of the suspected Moshosho rice needs to be examined to ascertain whether or not the rice has expired or good for consumption. I would be very grateful if your outfit could assist in examining the rice and report. Counting on your usual cooperation, please. So this is from the police command on the 21st of December.
To the FDA.
To the FDA. Will you believe, Annie, that before the FDA results will come in, orders have come from above that the rice should be sent to our schools. And I have all the schools who signed up for this rice. Yeah, last week I went through them. So 22,000 bags of this unwholesome rice have been fed to our students. Millions of them. Now, this is the scary part. The FDA certificates of analysis arrives on the 6th. By the 2nd, the last batch has gone to our schools. Our children have started eating the rice. Now, what does the FDA, the 6th February FDA results say? It says that when they tested, the rice has a high presence of insect infestation and that it does not conform to compliance. It's here. Insect infestation does not conform. The test results also show that there is high fat acidity and that it does not conform to compliance. We have given this to medical doctors to study and advise, and they say clearly this rice should not have been sent to our schools. Look, as we speak, Annie, one will have thought that what this country should be doing urgently is to be carrying out medical screening of all our students who have been made to consume this rice, which has high insect infestation and high fat acidity. Now look, the Food and Drugs Authority, I am clear in my mind that this matter must be subjected to an independent commission of inquiry, because the Food and Drugs Authority, just like NAFCO, they have many questions to answer. How is it that we now have, because the company has managed to produce some other test results which conceals the insect infestation and the high fat acidity, and they are claiming that the rice is wholesome? So we now have two different reports from the FDA. How did that happen?
That's what I wanted to ask you.
How did that happen? That is why the FDA, look, elsewhere, by now, the CEO of the FDA will have been fired long ago. Heads will have rolled long ago. Look, the FDA should tell Ghanaians, why is it that this company laments? You catch them engaging in an illegality, in criminality, rebagging moshosho, unwholesome rice, in a different bag, ECOWAS bag, you claim made in Ghana, no expiry date. And then, instead of descending heavily on this company, and don't forget, Annie, that I also have here the Auditor General's report for 2021, where the Auditor General confirms at paragraph 608 that Laments has a history of serving unwholesome food. And then when you read page 142 of this Auditor General's report, Laments also short supplies. What that means is that we pay them and they do not supply even according to the quantity we are paying them for. So quality suspicious, quantity totally not compliant. This is the Auditor General. And this company should have been blacklisted as far back as 2021. Now, what is shocking, Annie, is that the documents I have intercepted, same day, 29th December 2023, you have the FDA engaging in 3 contradictory actions. Same day. I hold in my hands here this letter, 29 December 2023, which is the original position of the FDA on this matter, addressed to the Managing Director of Laments. Dear Sir, Madam, unauthorized repackaging of rice. The Food and Drugs Authority, Ashanti Regional Office, detected through a response to an alert that your company, Laments Investment Limited, has been repackaging moshosho rice into different packaging bags with a different brand name, Sidao ECOWAS, in the food buffer stock storage facility, which has not been licensed for manufacturing purposes. The country of origin, India, of the rice has also been changed to Ghana, thus concealing the identity of the rice. Additionally, unlike the original bags, no best before date had been indicated on the repackaged bags. The exercise had been taking place without the approval and supervision by the FDA. These actions of your company are in controversy of sections 103, 106, and 1301 of the Public Health Act 2012, Act 851. Quoted as follows. 1031 says that a person who manufactures, labels, packages, sells, or advertises a food in a manner that is false, misleading, deceptive,
let's do a
or
quick
misbranded,
one and wrap up.
as regards its character, nature, value, additive, substance, quality, quantity, composition, merit, or safety, commits an offense. But let me quickly come to the very crucial part to me.
Quickly.
This letter says that the FDA instructs the company, Lamens, to 1, immediately desist from the repackaging of the rice. 2, contact the office of the FDA to initiate the process of safe disposal of the 15,000 bags of rebagged rice. And 3, pay an administrative charge of 150,000 Ghana cedis. 29th December. That same day, the FDA writes another letter to Lamens, changing this position, reducing the fine from 150,000 to 100,000, and then staying silent on disposing the rice. How did that happen? Who compelled the FDA to change their position? And then that same day, a third letter pops up, signed by the CEO of the FDA, Dr. Delis A.A. Dako. Dear Sir, application for shelf life extension of Moshosho white double polished Sortex Indian 25% broken rice. The Food and Drugs Authority acknowledges receipt of your letter dated 4th December 2020 with regards to your application for an extension of the shelf life of Moshosho white double polished Sortex Indian rice, 25% broken. Kindly note that the analytical report on the food product you submitted from the Food Research Institute has been reviewed. It, however, does not include a report on moisture and mold, which are also critical in making regulatory decisions in situations like this. Samples of the product were also sent to the FDA laboratory for analysis, indicated at the time of testing to be wholesome. With regards to the best before date, as stated on the product, the FDA is, however, unable to grant your request for a shelf life extension, since the authority cannot determine the shelf life of products. Shelf life determination is the responsibility of the manufacturer and must be based on the data obtained from shelf life studies conducted on the product.
Which dates did Lamens request for the shelf life extension?
They say that 4th December 2023.
Is this not the letter from the Lamens request?
Yes.
But that's February 9,
2024. Exactly. Different date. I remember that Lamens, the directors, were arrested on the 20th of December.
Yeah.
Upon the alert. So a lot of fishy things going on. So the FDA has a lot of questions to answer. But you see, what should worry all of us is that even this so-called claim of extension, that, as for best before date, it is only about quality, it reduces the quality. We should be asking.
Yeah. Why should we be
feeding our children with reduced quality of rice?
Why should we be asking
Why? When you go and buy rice, you go to the mall to buy rice, and they tell you, this one is reduced quality. We have some best before date extension. Will you buy it? If your own children are in secondary school, will you accept that? We are paying these people good money, millions of taxpayers' money. And you tell us, look, when other countries, Michelle Obama, what was her whole assignment as First Lady? It was how to improve the nutrition of food for the children of America. Now, Annie, no, this is important. Please,
I'm under pressure.
Just give me a minute. No, just give me a minute. It's very important.
I don't control that here.
Okay, but just give me a minute. Look, even this so-called extension, why didn't they put it on the bag of rice so that headmasters, matrons will know that even this your wicked extension, that our children can eat rice that is of inferior quality, that has gone beyond its best before date? Why didn't you state it? Why wasn't it put on the bags? So that heads will know. Now, as we speak, the evidence I have suggests that some schools continue to feed their children this rice beyond April, some as late as July, August. What are we doing? Look, free SHS, should not give anybody the license to poison our children. And we must make that point very, very clear and very, very forcefully. Why is this company being pampered? In 2021, the Auditor General indicted them. Then,
Yes, I'm done.
then they have done all of this, engaged in all of this criminality. They are still being pampered. They are being given extensions. Why?
Okay.
Did you see, as I conclude, did you see what the Greater Accra Regional Minister, only this week,
Yes.
did to that hawker at the new,
Yes.
the new flyover? The flower pot interchange. Did you see? Destroyed
Okay.
her tables and everything. You see how we treat the vulnerable, the poor, those who are not politically connected. And laments, smiling all the way to the bank.
We have to go.